everybody. Hello, wide world out there.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's iStore Meets Disability Empowerment for today, which is the International Day of Persons with Disability. It's probably one of my favorite days of the year because it's really getting to celebrate what I'm passionate about and what I believe I've dedicated my life to doing. And so I'm really excited that you took the time out to choose today's session, because I know for International Day of Persons with Disability, there are so many workshops and sessions that are going on, including we had the presidential address at a little bit after 1, where we had President Cyril addressing today and addressing International Day of Persons with Disability. So I just want to thank you for taking the time out to join today's session, and I hope that you get something really profound. Now, with these online sessions, we have a little bit of housekeeping at the beginning. Normally, when we run these sessions in person and face-to-face, we'll tell you where the toilets are and where you can go and get your coffee and what to do in case of a fire and all that fun stuff. But hopefully, wherever you are sitting, you know the answer to all of those questions. So I'm going to run through a bit of Zoom housekeeping. I see we got some comments in the chat popping in. Sam saying, hi, greetings from KZN. Well, Sam kicked that off quite well. Everybody else, whoever you are, just pop it in the comment section. Let us know who you are, where you're from. It's always great to have that, because it's something that's missing from these online sessions, is that interaction, and I love that interaction. So feel free to pop that in the chat section. In fact, that brings me to my very first point, which is engage with us. Today's session is quite a practical session. I'm going to be showing you practically how to do a very specific task on your iPad. But whilst we're going on, please feel free to put it in the chat section. Imagine that I'm sitting there right in front of you, and any questions that you might have, you are free to ask me. Pop it in the chat section and I will make sure that I answer them to the best of my ability. The second one is, if you are interested in hosting an iStore Meets, like I'm hosting this iStore Meets here today, and you have an interesting topic that you believe you could teach an iStore Meets on, awesome. Email us, istore.meets@istore.co.za. We would love to hear your ideas. And lastly, you can share on social media using the hashtag iStoreMeets, and you can stand a chance to win a 1,500 Rand iStore voucher. Come on, it's getting into Christmas time. It's festive season. Everybody wants to buy presents. Everybody wants presents. Everybody could use a 1,500 Rand iStore voucher. So make sure you take photos of today. And today's session is actually the perfect session to share about on social media, because you're going to be creating some art, and we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to share about it on social media. So go take photos, take screenshots, share your work, and stand a chance to win a voucher. Also, today's session, obviously, because it's an accessibility session, we have closed captions available for any users that might need it, whether you're deaf, hard of hearing, have a learning disability, or hey, you just like reading things instead of listening. We have closed captions available for you. Simply click on the closed caption button at the bottom of your Zoom screen, whether you're on your phone or whether you're on your computer. It should be there. It'll say closed captions is available. Click it, and then you can turn on your closed captions. You can also go into your settings, into the Zoom settings, and adjust the size of them and all of that fun stuff. But closed captions are available for this session. So now that all of the admin is out of the way, you know where the toilets are, you know where to get your coffee, and you know how to chat to us in the chat section. Speaking of that, we've got Sam from KZN, we've got Z from Josie, all the way from Josie. I'm in Josie, feel you. And there's Demi all the way from Gauteng. I see there's some other people that are a bit too shy to comment in the chat section. If you are brave enough, feel free to put your name and where you're from and whatever you feel like, whatever you ate for breakfast or lunch, I don't know, whatever you want to put in the chat section, feel free to put it in the chat section. And whilst you're doing that, I'm going to introduce who I am. So today's session is an iStore Meets. It is in partnership, however, with iSchool Africa and Think Ahead. I work at iSchool Africa and Think Ahead as the Inclusion and Accessibility Specialist. My email address is on the screen if anybody has any questions after the session. And also our social media handles. You must follow our social media. I mean, we have amazing events happening all the time. So just follow us on social media so that you don't miss out on anything. But a little bit of background on myself. I work as an inclusion and accessibility specialist. I have a lot of background in it. I have my honors in South African Sign Language, and I'm actually studying next year my master's in disability rights. I'm very passionate about the fields of disability and using technology to empower individuals with disabilities to create accessible and inclusive environments, which leads me to what today the special day that we're celebrating today, which is the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. And the 2020 IDPWD, that's a mouthful, theme is Not All Disabilities Are Visible. The UN also released a theme, and their theme is building back better, making disability and inclusive environments as we build back from COVID-19, which is an awesome theme. However, I'm going to be focusing on the theme that was released from the International Day of Persons with Disability. And that is, the theme is Not All Disabilities Are Visible. I actually wrote a blog on this yesterday in light of today and today's theme, because I personally have invisible disabilities. And my story is quite, I mean, if anybody's attended my sessions before, you'll know that about me. Diagnosed at the age of 9, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. Went to a special needs school. But yesterday, when I was, I'd planned today's session and I was preparing for it, and I looked at the theme, and my personality is to reflect and meditate and all of that. And I started thinking about my own personal journey as a person with a disability that is invisible. Now, if you had met me 2 years ago, you would not have ever heard me speaking about me having a disability, because that word is so loaded. It has so many negative stigmas and so much attached to that word that I 9 times out of 10 didn't disclose my disabilities. In fact, when you get those forms and it has a little tick box saying, do you have a disability? I won't tick that unless I absolutely need to, which is wrong, which is so bad. But I started reflecting on why is it that I do that? Now, I was fortunate enough, when I was diagnosed, I was overseas at an inclusive school that catered for learners with my disabilities. However, when I moved to South Africa, we contacted the one school that I applied to attend when we moved here. Now, my disability was manageable at this point. When I was diagnosed, I was level 2, 1 being the worst you can be, level 2 being obviously severe, 5 being you can manage. So when I was initially diagnosed, I was diagnosed being level 2. And by the time that I left the inclusive school that I was at, I was on level 4. So the therapy that I had involved in had really supported me and helped me a lot. So my disability was manageable. However, the school, when we contacted them and told them of my specific needs, they automatically were reluctant to accept me. Anyways, I attended the school, and after 6 months, they basically threw me out. Not because I wasn't coping with the curriculum, not because I wasn't coping academically. My English mark was 78%. I was doing very well, but they just couldn't cope with my specific needs. The next school we went to, we didn't disclose anything to them, because I realized that sometimes letting people know that you're disabled, it actually brings more barriers. And this opened up a huge thing for me to not talk about my disabilities and not disclose my disabilities, because all of a sudden I realized that there was more challenges. Now, I'm fortunate because my disability is invisible. You don't look at me and know that I'm struggling, but it often meant suffering in silence. So there are pros and cons to this. And I love this theme because not all disabilities are visible. And today we're going to be creating self-portraits using Keynote. And what I want us to do when you're creating these self-portraits, and when you as an educator or teacher or therapist, or as an individual as a parent with a child with disability, when you're sitting down with your child, I want you to reflect on the labels that are put on your children, the labels that are put on your students, and help them identify them and help them replace them with positive labels, and remind them that they're positives to having disabilities. And it's in the past year, I've started really putting positive labels on myself and not allowing myself to be disabled by my disability, but allow myself to be empowered by my disability and use it as a tool to give me a unique perspective. And I do believe that that is the theme of Not All Disabilities Are Visible. If we're encouraging people to speak out and encouraging them to embrace their disabilities, more people are going to be more open to disclosing their disabilities and being honest and being vulnerable about their disabilities. So that's the theme for International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Another question I get asked a lot is why Apple? Now, having my own disabilities, I have personally tried a lot of technology and have come to the astounding conclusion that Apple technology as a form of assistive technology, as an accessible tool, there is nothing like it. And I'll explain to you why. So Tim Cook himself, he says, we've always viewed accessibility as a human right. And just like human rights are for everyone, we want our products to be accessible for everyone. Now, human rights and disability rights is something very close to my heart and something that I'm incredibly passionate about, and making sure that people's rights are met, heard, and that people are educated about their rights. And what I can say without a shadow of a doubt is Apple truly does view accessibility as a human right. They have all their products, and every single time you buy one of their products, if you buy an iPhone, you buy an iPad, you buy a MacBook, you buy an Apple Watch, you buy an Apple TV, it comes with built-in free accessibility features. Now, for example, if I was working with a blind customer or blind user and they came to me and were debating which technology to get, I would honestly sit down with them and go, okay, let's work out the price of a device. Let's work out the price of an office suite, whether it's Windows or whatever your preferred office suite is. And let's work out the price of the accessibility support that you're going to need. Whether it's JAWS or NVDA or another screen reader, we're going to work out the cost of it. Now let's look at Apple technology that has all of those built into the devices for free. So you might look at the initial cost of the device, but all the things that come with the device, it takes the device, first of all, to a cost-effective level. And actually, if you look at the prices of I, for example, have an iPad 6, which really is not unaffordable, but all of the things that come built in with this device, it's unreal. It's second to none. It makes these devices the most accessible devices on the market. And I'll be showing you a couple of accessibility features in today's session, as well as showing you how to do the self-portrait. But to just give you a glimpse of some of the accessibility features that come built into your devices, I'm going to show you a quick video, probably my favorite video in the world, and I hope you enjoy.
In a kitchen, we move to an open bedroom door. In the bedroom, Sadie Paulson is reflected in a mirror. A caregiver brushes her hair, then helps her into a blouse.
People think that having a disability is a barrier.
Sadie sits at a desk working with an iMac. She moves her head to operate switches on her headrest.
But that's not the way I see it.
Now, a young man uses sign language on a FaceTime call.
You can catch up with friends.
A young woman signs back. Now a family picnic.
Ready?
You can capture a moment with your family.
One face, small face, focus lock.
A blind man takes a photo with an iPhone.
And you can start the day bright and early.
A woman lies in bed using an iPhone app to open motorized curtains and turn on her lights. She lowers herself into a wheelchair.
You can take a trip to somewhere new.
A man hikes with friends. Now a close-up of his hearing aid. He stops to select the outdoor setting on his iPhone.
3 miles to the summit.
A boy reads a book on an iPad in class.
You can concentrate on every word of a story.
A bird began to sing. Jack opened his eyes.
An athlete selects outdoor wheelchair workout on her Apple Watch.
You can take the long way home.
A beach at sunset. The athlete pushes her wheelchair aggressively down a paved path, quickly gaining speed. Then the footage rewinds, revealing that it's being edited in Final Cut Pro.
Or edit a film like this one.
We zoom out to reveal Sadie editing the film. She uses her head to use switch control, navigating an on-screen keyboard.
When technology is designed for everyone,
She drags a clip and plays the film.
it lets anyone do what they love, including me.
Sadie laughs. Then a gray Apple logo appears on a white background. The logo disappears.
Okay, so I hope that you're feeling as motivated as I am after watching that video. I think every time I watch that video, I get a renewed sense of hope and vision and excitement for the accessibility support that comes with these Apple devices. So as you can see, Apple's accessibility features are not limited to one disability. They are unbelievable accessibility features across the board for every single different type of disability, from blind, low vision, deaf, hard of hearing, physical motor disabilities, learning, neurodiverse disabilities. I'm yet to find one disability that I'm not able to help with the accessibility features that are built into all of these devices. And as you can see, it's as simple as opening up your settings menu. I'm focusing obviously on iPad, but simply open up settings and look for the menu item accessibility with the blue accessibility icon next to it, and you will unlock a world of accessibility support. And I love these. And you were listening to that video, you would have heard somebody kind of using the descriptions and describing what was happening. That is the audio descriptions. And now I keep forgetting every time I play a video, I've got audio descriptions turned on all my devices because I use the accessibility features. So whenever I play a video, the audio descriptions automatically play. And often the subtitles happen as well because I have that turned on as well. Just one of the free accessibility features that come built in with all of your Apple devices. Okay, so done with the sales pitch. And now it's over to the session. So whilst I'm actually just going to quickly switch over here to my iPad. Now you get to see my face in full. So I'm going to go share with my iPad. Just give me a second here. So just whilst I'm switching to my iPad, does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask? And if you do, just feel free to pop them in the chat section or the Q&A section, and I will be sure that I answer these. I'm just going to close the Q&A because I can't have too many windows open. So please just pop them in the chat section because I have the chat section open here and I can see what everybody's saying. Okay, so I'm now on my iPad. Don't forget questions, feel free to ask. So the first thing that I want to explain today is this session is very much inspired by the Everyone Can Create curriculum, which is one of Apple's free curriculums that you can get and download. So I'm going to show it to you. All you need to do is open up books, your iBooks on your iPad or your iPhone or wherever. You can get it on your MacBook as well, and search for Everyone Can Create. You can see it here. And what it's going to do is it's going to open up all these books for you. And these are great teacher guides for those of you that are creative, you want to teach music, video, photo. There's the Everyone Can Create teacher guide. There's drawing, which is today's session is based on the drawing one. And then they've just released the Everyone Can Create teacher guide for early learners, which is for younger learners, such as my son's age. So I can see my Zoom's trying to turn on. I'm just going to quickly turn that off so that you don't need to keep seeing my screen zoomed in. Okay, so this is the Everyone Can Create Apple curriculum. And I strongly recommend those of you that are teachers, go and have a look at this, and don't go and look at this only if you're a visual arts or creative arts teacher. Go and look at this even if you're an English or a maths or whatever teacher, because finding ways to incorporate creativity into your everyday curriculum is really going to benefit not only you, but your learners, especially if they're special needs or have specific needs, because often they're more visual than not. So what I'm going to do is today, I'm going to show you how to do self-portraits using the iPad. Sorry, that was my calendar telling me that there is another event for International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Of course there is. There are so many. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's open. I prepared this yesterday. So please excuse my lovely pre-gym, post-gym face, and the self-portrait that comes with it. I look beautiful, as you can see, stunning. Trying to get back into shape for December so that I don't pick up too much weight. But I'm going to show you the idea of what I'm going to teach you how to create today. So this is my beautiful self-portrait, and I'm going to teach you how to take that photo into this. Okay, I'm not an artist. I'm not an art teacher. I'm a drama therapist by qualification, I guess you want to call it that. I don't practice drama therapy anymore, but so don't judge my drawing skills. I showed this to my husband and he was like, are you sure you want to show this to people? But I'm showing it to you all today. This is my brave self-portrait that I'm going to show you how to do. And obviously working with children with special needs, we're not going to go into too much detail. And I'm going to show you there are other variations that you could take it with. But my whole thinking with this is let's not stop with self-portraits. Let's talk about self-reflection. When they're drawing it, ask them questions about themselves. How do you see yourself? How do others see yourself? How do you think the world perceives you? How do you perceive the world? And asking them those questions as they're drawing just allows it to become a self-reflective activity and ends up being quite therapeutic. So what I was thinking with this whole process is I then went a step further and said, okay, what are some of these labels that people have given me over the years because of my disabilities? Slow, I struggle with my thought process, I can't read, socially awkward, really bad at spelling, I'm a klutz and clumsy. Actually, 15 minutes before this session, I sprained my ankle. That's how I'm terrible. Lack of attention to detail. And this is how people see me, bad attention span. In fact, the one person said to me, I have the attention span of a retarded rock. That was a great motivating moment in my life. But it's all these things and all these labels that have been given to me, often because I didn't disclose my disability, because I wasn't open, honest, and upfront with people. So their perception of me is, she's just such a klutz. Oh my gosh, she's so socially awkward. She doesn't get sarcasm. Her jokes really aren't funny. And it was all these things I've been carrying for years. And this process allowed me to see what the labels are and see that they actually aren't me. It's things people have perceived me to be. And I'm more than that. In fact, I believe myself to be caring, loving, kind, passionate, hardworking. Apparently, I'm too fast. Compassionate. I have a big heart. I'm a hard worker. I have a very unique perspective on my life, on outlooks of life. And you know what? Being able to draw self-portraits and being able to take this moment to think about who I am, think about where I've come from, think about everything has allowed me to go, I'm not defined by the labels that others put on me. I'm defined by the labels that I embrace. And it allowed me to to change my outlook on myself, because I am not your labels. I'm more than my disabilities. Okay, so that's the whole motivation thing. And this is ultimately what I'm going to show you how to do with your learners to get them motivated, to get them processing labels they might have gone through, to get them identifying with their strengths and being able to embrace their strengths more than their weaknesses and see the value in their uniqueness in exactly the way that they are. Okay, so they might not be able to get a self-portrait like mine, because I am turning 29 next week. So I'm a little bit older and hopefully I can draw a little bit better than students in school. But maybe they can do this. Maybe they want to play with shapes and they want to play with colors. That is okay. However they want to do it is okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this. And it's so simple. Those of you that have got an iPad here, please feel free to do this along with me so that you can see what you're struggling with and ask questions as we go. So the first step is I'm actually going to take you back straight from how to create a presentation. So up here at the top, you can see I'm actually going to turn up my brightness because, oh, my brightness is up. Okay, so up here at the top, you're going to see that plus button. Click that plus button and it's going to give you options. Choose a theme, choose start an outline, however you want to do it. I'm going to say choose a theme because that's my personal preference. Okay. Then you can see here, there's all these different options and you can sit and play. There's so many different templates that you can go through and choose and whichever one you want to do. The black looks really cool doing this exercise as well. But for today, I'm just going to do plain stock standard white. Okay, so I'm going to go with the basic white one. It's downloading it. And then you can see it's going to open up this template. Now I want to delete everything that's on the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my one finger, I'm going to hold it down, I'm going to take my other finger and I'm going to tap all of the elements that I want to delete at the same time. So I'm going to go tap, tap. So you can see they're all selected. As I remove my finger, it's going to give me an option, cut, copy, delete. I'm going to say delete because I want a blank canvas, right? Now I'm cheating with my portrait. I'm taking a photo and I'm tracing it. I learned this trick from an amazing lady called Miriam Walsh, and I'm not going to take credit for it at all. She taught me, I attended one of her sessions and loved it, and I am now adjusting it for special needs, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the top where you're going to see this plus button here again. You're going to click that plus button, and it's going to come give you an option here. So you can say a photo, camera, or, you know, all these other options. For today, you can either say a photo or you can say camera. Now I'm going to say camera purely to show you the one accessibility feature. Okay, so I'm going to pull out camera. Now you're going to see I actually have a virtual background on. I'm sitting in my daughter's bedroom. This is what my background really looks like. Okay, but I'm going to turn on voiceover.
Voiceover on, landscape.
Oh.
Home button to the left, image. Retake, but, retake.
Oh, it's telling me I want zoom as well.
Near left edge. Centered. Face centered.
So the point of this is I want you to hear what voiceover is saying. So it's saying that the face is centered. It's my camera is letting me know that my face is in the camera and it's centered. Now I'm going to take this photo. Okay, it's a beautiful photo with my lovely double chin. I'm actually so vain. I'm going to take that again. Okay. It's not much better, but it's there. So that's, you know, voiceover is really, really great. And it's not actually working at the moment because Zoom is trying to fight with me at the moment. That's why the thing that keeps zooming in on up on my face, I'm not too sure what's going on there. But anyways, I took a photo with voiceover. Generally, it will say one face, face centered. In fact, because it's got my face recognized, it'll say possibly Chelsea as well. So I'm going to say use photo. Okay. Now you can see, obviously I have that background and I don't really want that background there. So I'm going to use a tool called Instant Alpha to remove my background. So what I'm going to do is up at the top, you can see that the format button, the little paintbrush, it's your format button. You're going to click that. And up at the top, you'll see it says style, image, and arrange. I'm going to click image. And then once you click image, you'll see this option called Instant Alpha opens up. I'm going to click on Instant Alpha. Now what this is going to allow me to do is to remove that background. I'm going to put my pen or my finger, whatever you've got, on your screen and lift it up, swipe up slightly. And as I swipe up, you can see that part's gone blue. That means that that blue part is going to be removed. So I lift it up and it's removed. I'm going to do it on the pink curtains as well. I'm lifting it up. I don't want to go too far because you can see there as it selects my face will be removed as well. So I'm going to swipe down a little bit until it gets to the point. There we go. Oh. And you're just going to keep going until you get to a point where your background is removed. So just tapping things, swiping up. Oh, there we go. Tapping things, my husband's golf clubs in the background. Oh, I moved my hair there, so I'm just going to undo. clearly the colors of the walls is the same color as my hair. So this obviously works much better if you can do it on a plain background. So if you can get like a and also top trick is red background, like red curtains doesn't work so great because it recognizes your skin color as well. So make sure that whatever background you use, I'm going to zoom in here, whatever background you use, make sure it's a different background to whatever you're trying to delete. So that's pretty okay. I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm going to say done. And you can see here now that background is removed. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start actually drawing the self-portrait. Again, I'm going to go back up to this plus button. I'm going to click the plus button and I'm going to say drawing. So it's the last icon. You can see it's got the columns, it's got the pie chart, it's got the shapes, and then it's got the photos. In the photo section, you're going to click drawing. Tap on that. And then it's going to open up all these markup tools down at the bottom. This first one is a new one with iOS 14. So cool. It's the scribble tool. So I'm going to click on that just to show you what it is. And then whatever I type, whatever I write with my Apple Pencil will be converted into text. So you can see that happened over here. I wrote hello and it converted it into text. Okay. So that's the first markup tool that you've got available to you there. I just want to delete that quickly. Okay. The second one is your pen tool. And I'm going to show you this here. So that's what it's going to look like. It's a solid line and then you can change the colors. This one is like a pencil look. I'm going to zoom in so you can actually see the texture. So this, and I'm going to adjust, you can adjust the thickness by simply tapping on the pencil that you want and adjusting the thickness. So you can see it's a cool little pencil tool there. The next one is a crayon. This is my personal preference. I love the crayon. So you can see that's what it looks like. And then this is your fill tool. So fill tool is a little bit different. So you're going to draw an outline and then whatever's in the inside of that outline, it's going to fill. Okay, so imagine I want to draw a circle. I'm actually going to draw a circle and you can see this dotted line is happening and that whole centered part is going to be filled. Okay, so that's your fill tool. I'm going to use that quite a bit. Then you have your eraser tool. Now, if you tap on your eraser, it's going to give you two options, pixel eraser and object eraser. So pixel eraser is if I want to erase parts of it, parts of an object. Object eraser is if I want to remove a full object. So you can see that there. Okay. And then this one is, oh, I need to draw some more things quickly. So the last one is your select tool. So I'm going to outline this drawing and then I'm able to move it around. I'm able to resize it. I'm able to resize it, make it smaller, make it bigger. I'm able to duplicate it. So that's what the select tool does. Okay. There we go. All right. So without further ado, now that we know what all our pens are, now and again, it's completely up to you. However you want to play this or do this, if you are an art teacher and you want to teach them stippling and shading, you can do that. I actually watched a webinar the other day on an art teacher who purely does digital art, and he's like, you can do everything on your iPad and it teaches you all the same skills as art. So it's really, I mean, it really has that power. I'm not an art teacher, so I can't speak to that, but he is. So what we're going to do here is the first one I'm going to use the fill. So the fill is going to get the majority of like the color of my face and my shirt and my hair. So I'm going to do those three things. So I'm going to tap on the fill tool. Now I want to get the color of my skin, right? So I'm going to select, you can see here, it's the rainbow spectrum icon. You're going to click that. And this is the thing that I love to do because I'm pretty particular. I need the colors to be perfect. Otherwise, I won't be happy. So you can choose a color that you want if you want it to be abstract, or if you like me and you want it to be the right color, you can click this color. It's the eyedropper tool, the color dropper tool up at the top. And when you click that, you can drag it over. So you can see I drag it over my skin and now it's the perfect color. It's the same color as my skin. And I'm going to now use that fill tool to outline. I'm going to draw an outline of my face, and you can see I'm actually just tracing the outline of my face. I'm going to go over those ears. I'm going to go down there, around my neck. And when I lift up my pen, ta-da, I've got a filled in space. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my hair, use the color picker, grab the eyedropper, get the color of my hair. I've got it. And then again, outline my hair. So I'm outlining it. Now again, I'm not going to do this really, really perfect. Okay. And again, lift up my pencil, and you can see there it's filled in my hair. Last one, I'm going to do my shirt. I'm not going to do the color dropper. It's black, and black is black for me. So I'm going to outline where my shirt is. Now you can be as creative as you want here. If you don't want to be wearing a black shirt, you want to be wearing another shirt, or whatever, you don't want to be doing it this way, that's all okay. It's completely up to you however you want to do it, okay? So now, to get all the features, my eyes, my nose, my mouth, whatever, or if you want to just stick with it this way, that's fine. But I'm going to show you how to do the features, and then you can do however many features you want to do, however little features you do. But please, those of you that are doing it along today's session, please send us photos of your self-portraits. And if you do it with your learners, please send us photos of your learners doing the self-portraits, because it's so great to see these in action. So I'm going to select this, the select tool, which is the last pencil on in the markup section, and I'm going to highlight everything, and I'm going to move it out of the way, okay, just for my own sanity. I'm going to now take my beautiful photo, and I'm going to click it, and I'm going to move up to the top here. You're going to see that format button again, the format tool again. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to go to the arrange section. So again, style, image, arrange is the last one. And here it says move to the back or the front. So depending on how you want to, like at the moment, it's all the way at the back. You can see it here. It's all the way at the back. I want it to be all the way at the front. Okay. So what I'm going to do is simply drag this toggle all the way. And now what's happened is my photo, my photo is in front of that, my little markup, my little doodle outline thing that I've got so far. So I've got my photo there, and I'm placing them on top of each other. But now obviously I can't see my drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on my photo. I'm going to go back again to that format button, tap on that, and I'm now going to go to the style column. Here you're going to see all these different things. You can do shadow and a reflection and a title and a caption. You can do whatever you want here. But for now, I'm adjusting the opacity. So at the moment, opacity, it's completely solid. It's opaque. I can't see through it. I can't see what's underneath it. But I'm going to adjust that slightly. So you can see there, now it looks like my photo is on top of my drawing. I can still see my photo, but I can still see my drawing. And that's going to help me. Okay. So I'm back to my pen tools. And now this is up to you. Whatever pen you want to use your pencil. If you, again, use somebody like me that wants to keep doing the color picker, what you can do is click on your photo, tap it so that this, the menu item at the top comes up, say copy. And this is just what I do because I am pedantic. I'm going to say paste. I'm going to make my photo a little bit smaller, and I'm going to make the opacity of this one not completely opaque. Okay, so I can still use my color picker tool to get the right colors. Again, you can be as creative as you want here. I just like it like this. It's one of my things. Okay, so now I'm going to use this pen tool. I'm going to go back to my color picker, get my eyedropper, go to my eyebrows. Oh, where are my eyebrows at? Okay. Oh, that's my eye. Where's my eyebrows? Anybody see my eyebrows? Okay, clearly it wants my eyebrows to be purple. Red. Okay, my eyebrows are going to be red. That's the way we're going. It's actually fashionable now. Well, people walk around with pink or blue. Let's go with blue. Blue is my favorite color. Okay, so I can now see the shape of my eyebrows. I'm going to zoom in here, and I can, oh, that pencil's way too thick. I'm going to look like somebody who's trying to draw on her eyebrows badly. Okay, so I'm going to go with a thinner one. I'm going to get a little texture going here. Now, this is completely up to you. I've got blue fashionable eyebrows, and I'm just, you know, playing with them here. I can't even remember what. This is like a art, I don't know, stippling. No, that's the dots. I don't know. So I'm teaching this here. Now I'm going to do my eyebrow here. But the point of this is you can see, I can still see my photo. So I'm able to trace and make it as awesome as I want it to be, but I can be as creative as I want to be. Now I'm going to do eyeliner. Here's my eyeliner, or tracing my eyebrows. Now I want to shade a little bit, okay? So I'm going to give it a bit of a gray tool. This is not wanting to work. Okay, black it is. All right, so I'm going to use a black, but I'm going to adjust the opacity of it. Sorry, here, I'm going to adjust the opacity here. So you can see here the slider. And then now those of you that have got an Apple Pencil, or I personally love an Apple Pencil, if you can get one, it's amazing, life-changing. And then I'm just going to tilt my pencil sideways. And as I do that, you can see I can shade. So I'm going to shade that in, my shady eyebrow, my shady eyeshadow. Did on the other side. And now you can do this however you want to do. I'm doing this very badly because I'm just doing it quickly to teach you some of the tools. Okay, so we've got this. I'm going to give myself some eyelashes. My opacity is still down. I'm going to adjust it back up. Look at my beautiful eyelashes. Beautiful eyelashes. I wish I had eyelashes like this. Okay, maybe I didn't. I wish they were fuller. I quite like my eyelashes. Now we've got our eyes. I want blue eyes. I've always wanted blue eyes. I think I married my husband because he has blue eyes. And then I'm going to use some, you can see I'm using my fill tool here. Now to be really artistic, I'm using my eraser tool. I'm going to make sure it says pixel eraser, and I'm going to like erase it. Do you know what I mean? Light, light. That looks cool. Okay, so now I've got this. Okay, and you can see there, that's my beautiful face so far. I'm going to go back to my pencil. You know what's nice is to adjust the opacity when you're doing the outline of your beautiful nose. Look how stunning my nose is. Let's get a crayon for my beautiful mouth. I realized I smiled with my mouth open in the last one as well, and it was so difficult to draw teeth. So for those of you that are doing personal self-portraits, I recommend closing your mouth. Teeth are difficult. I look stunning. Blue eyebrows and red lips. Okay, so now for the shading, what I did yesterday, which I realized was pretty cool, is I actually took my fill tool and I adjusted the opacity to be quite low. And then I just did the fill around where those shadows are, and it looks pretty epic. Okay, I made myself have it. I literally just drew a double chin in. And you can do this however you want to do it. Just kind of go over where the shadows are. Okay, and now you can take however much time that you want to do, put as however much detail as you want to do, but obviously I'm not going to do all of that for now. So I'm now going to use that select tool again. So you can see it's that last tool. I'm going to select my full drawing, and I'm going to move my drawing. I'm going to move my drawing. There we go. Okay, so now you can see I'm going to delete this photo. So there's my photo that was opaque, that I was copying the details from. I've moved it away. I'm now going to delete this. And ta-da! I now have a self-portrait that I drew. How cool is that? Simply by tracing a photo that I took of myself. And it's you know, you can sit and you can go into as much detail as you want and, you know, adding all the shading and whatever, but for the sake of time, I'm really not going to go into that much detail. But that's, I mean, a pretty decent self-portrait. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want this self-portrait to, I want it to look like it was drawing. I don't know if you saw when I showed you that initial keynote, I want it to look like I drew it when I play the presentation. So what you're going to do is you're going to select, I'm going to select this whole thing. Okay. Oh, sorry, doing it wrong. So I'm going to get the drawing thing. Close drawing. Okay, so now I'm going to select my drawing and I'm going to say animate. You can see there's all these options. So cut, copy, paste, delete, edit drawing, comment, link, animate, share. So I'm going to click animate. Click on animate and it's going to give me all these options. Down at the bottom, you're going to say add build in. There's add build in, add action, add build out, whatever. So you're going to say add build in. Now we're going to click on line draw. Now this is such a cool animation because I'm going to show you. It's going to make it look like I was drawing it when I play the keynote. And you can adjust the speed of it. You can adjust, so you can see here durations 4 seconds. So I can make it a little bit longer so that when it plays for a little bit longer and takes its time drawing the attention to detail. But that's completely up to you, however you want to do it. Now, before I go on to the adding the labels and the affirmations and text, because I want to show you a couple of accessibility features with that. Does anybody have any questions? Are they struggling with anything with the drawing here? Does your drawing look as beautiful as mine? Or do you have any questions? Please feel free to just pop them in the chat section. Again, I apologize for Zoom. I was using Zoom earlier and it's obviously decided it wants to use Zoom. Even though I've turned it off. Actually, let me go to my accessibility settings and turn it off completely. It is off. My iPad obviously just wants to use Zoom. Okay, so any questions, feel free to just pop them in the chat section. If not, I'm going to move on. Okay, so all right, so the first one that we're going to do is we're going to show you how to do the labels. I'm going to show you how to do the labels in 3 different ways. The first one's the handwriting, which you would have gathered how to do by now. The second one, I'm going to show you dictation, which is speech to text. And the third one I've already showed you kind of is the handwriting to text. Okay, so what we're going to do is up at the top here, we've got our first slide with our beautiful drawing that we've drawn. You're going to tap it and you can see here it's going to open up a menu. So cut, copy, select all, delete, duplicate, skip slide, blah, 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 blah. We're going to click duplicate. And it's going to duplicate my slide exactly the way it is. Now, if you want to use the handwriting tool, same thing. We're going to click the plus icon and we're going to say drawing. We're going to click on drawing. And then you can use whichever one of these drawing icons that you want to write labels that you want. So I am going to say I am beautiful, I am unique, and obviously you can change the colors as you go. I'm happy, however you want to do it. Okay, so the second way that you want to do the labels is dictation, which is speech to text. So what we're going to do is a little bit different. We're going to go back, we're going to click that plus icon again up at the top. Now we're going to go to the shapes button. I know it's bizarre for text to be by the shapes, but it's here. That's where it is. You're going to click the shapes icon. You're going to click text. It's going to add text, okay? Okay. So now I want to say beautiful or lovely or whatever. Here on the bottom of my keyboard, the bottom corner of my keyboard, you can see there's a little microphone button. That's your dictation button. Now, when you tap that, whatever you say into your device will be converted into text. So I'm going to tap that and say, Beautiful. You can see there what I said, the word beautiful, and it typed the word beautiful for me. This is really, really great for learners with learning disabilities or learners that struggle to read or write, or even learners that are low vision, that are struggling to see your keyboard, because with the iPad being, it's flat, it's difficult for them to be able to tell where the letters are unless they're using voiceover. So just allowing them to use the dictation button allows that flexibility. They can sit and they can adjust it. They can format it. You click the format button, change the font, change the size, change the text color, change all of these lovely things that you want. There are plugins that you can use to add different types of fonts if you want to get creative. Okay, just make this big, and then I'll make the text color red. Okay. All right, so you can see it's the first option, second option, and the third option I'm going to show you again, which was the scribble, which is only available on iOS 14 or above. So we're going to go back to the plus button, click the plus button. Sorry, yeah, it's a plus button. I was right. The photo button, going to click drawing. Then it's the first pen in your markup tools, and you're going to say lovely, and it'll convert it to text for you. I really recommend using a stylus or an Apple Pencil. I love my Apple Pencil. It's been a game changer for me with my iPad, because sometimes with special needs, we can rely on accessibility features like dictation, but there is so much value in teaching them handwriting, fine motor skills development, and all of that. It's such a valuable skill to have. And the Apple Pencil allows to combine that world of digital support and accessibility with fine motor skills development. Invest in the Apple Pencil if you can. It is the most amazing tool that I've ever used. And that is how you create a self-portrait on Keynote using the photo tools, using the drawing tools, using dictation, using some accessibility features. So it was a very quick session, and my email address, as you can see, is on is actually on my name, under my name. It's chelsea@iSchoolAfrica.com. But I really want to let you know that if you ever need anything or need any support, you are more than welcome to contact me or let me know that you're struggling with something, because all of the things that I'm sharing today is just kind of a brief overview of some of the things that you can do. Keynote is one of the free iWork apps that there's Pages, Keynote, Numbers. If you use Microsoft, it's the equivalent of Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So Keynote is the equivalent of PowerPoint, but it's way better, if I'm going to be very honest with you, because I love it. You can't do that. So just for those of you that are parents, we are running an amazing parent purchase offer where we have bundles available for parents at discounted prices. You can either email parents@thinkahead.co.za for more information on that, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen currently. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The second one is for schools and educators. We are also running discounted prices for iPads, the iPad 8th generation, starting from $6,449. So again, please contact didi@thinkahead.co.za, or you can email me. I really, there's so many benefits to using an iPad, and we'd love to get you started in this journey. And last one is join our Couch to Class Facebook group. We've got a Facebook group that's for all teachers and educators across the world that are sharing advice and upcoming events and support and guidance and all these fun things. So if you haven't already joined our Couch to Class Facebook group, go ahead and do so. You won't be disappointed. And that is everything from me today for today's session. I hope that you are leaving feeling empowered and excited to use a tool like drawing self-portraits to empower your learners with specific or special needs or disabilities, and allowing them to see that, first of all, yes, not all disabilities are visible, But even if your disability is visible, it doesn't need to limit you. You are capable. You are able to do anything that you set your mind to. And it's just a case of learning to love yourself, learning to love your double chins, and learning to love the things that you do. Like I said, I'm currently sitting with my foot up because I fell 15 minutes before today's session because I am such a klutz. I'm covered in bruises all the time. It's all a part of it. And I'm so grateful that I get to work with people and empower people to embrace their differences and embrace those things about themselves, because we're all made uniquely. And let's use tools like this to celebrate that uniqueness. So please feel free to share any of the self-portraits that you do, abstract or literal. Share them with us. Share your top tips with us. Remember to use the hashtag iStore Meets and stand a chance to win a voucher. But thank you so much for joining me today on the International Day of Persons with Disability. And it's also the last day of Persons with, DRAM, Disability Rights Awareness Month. I don't know why I could not remember that. It's also the last day of Disability Rights Awareness Month. So I hope that you've had an amazing Disability Rights Awareness Month. There have been really great sessions that have been running throughout it. And yeah, I hope that you're leaving motivated and inspired. And to everybody else that attended, thank you for joining. I hope you have an amazing rest of your Thursday and an even better Friday and an even better weekend and an even better festive season. And we will see you all soon. If nobody has any more questions, I'm going to turn my video off. And you are more than welcome to pop me an email at any time with any questions. And I'm happy to help you however I can. Thank you all for joining. Chat to you soon.